Hello students, I am Pallavi Gupta. Today in Election of President Part 2, I will discuss the manner of election of President and what is the time limit for holding the presidential election. Yes, regarding the manner of election of President. Article 55. Of course, Article 54 is saying about what shall be the electoral college for the election of president, but Article 55 is saying that as far as practical possible, there shall be uniformity in the scale of representation of the different state at the election of the president. And section 55 is also talking about the how the value of the vote of different states shall be calculated. So the election to the office of president is not held directly by the people of country, but the whole population of the country gets an indirect say in the election, though through their chosen representatives in the parliament. So it is the indirect election of the president, where the chosen representatives in parliament and state assemblies participated there, because the value of the vote of an elected member of a state legislative assembly depend on the population of the state concerned. Though every member included in the electoral college for the presidential election, they, they cast only one ballot paper, the value of vote of each ballot paper cast by the member of the electoral college is not the same or the equal. It varies from state to state, and which is explained in Article 55. In the case of elected member of each state legislative assembly on the basis of the population of the state concerned, it depends as per the formula which is laid down in the Article 55 of the Constitution. So, meaning thereby the representation in the parliament, the representative in the parliament and state legislative assembly participated in the election of president, means there is an indirect election, though the value of the vote of the each elected member of a state legislative assembly depends upon the population of that concern, therefore it varies. So regarding the manner of calculation of the vote or vote value of the votes of the member of electoral college, Article 55 says there shall be, as far as possible, practically possible, there shall be uh, uniformity in the scale of representation. And subclause 2 of this article is saying that to securing such uniformity among the states inter se, as well as the parity between the states as a whole and the union, the number of votes which each elected member of the parliament and of legislative assembly of each state is entitled to cast at such election shall be determined in the manner as prescribed in subclause A, B, C of subclause 2 of Article 55. Yes, as it did, I will use the term MLA for the elected member of the state legislative assembly. I will use the term MPs for the member of for the elected member of the for the elected member of the both house of parliament. So says that subclause A is saying every elected member of the legislative assembly of a state shall have as many votes as there are multiples of 1000 in the quotient obtained by dividing the population of the state by the total number of the elected member of the assembly, meaning thereby the total population of a particular state shall be divided by total number of MLA. For example, if I take the example of Delhi state, Union Territory of Delhi state, there is a population is around 1.9 crore, and the elected member in the state assembly, for example, it's 70. Then 1.9 crore population shall be divided by 70, and whatever the result shall be further divided by 1000. Subclause 2. If after taking the set multiples of 1000 the remainder is not less than 500, then the vote of each member be referred shall be increased by 1. Subclause C. Each elected member of either house of parliament shall have such number of votes as may be obtained by dividing the total numbers of votes assigned to member of legislative assembly of the states under subclause A and B by the total number of the elected member of both houses of parliament. Fractions, if fractions exceeding one half being counted as one and other fractions being disregarded. So meaning thereby we will calculate the value of the vote of the MLA of one state, then the value of the elected member of state legislative assembly of a state shall be calculated, then the value of the vote of the elected member of parliament shall be calculated, and then the value of the vote of the elected member of state legislative assembly shall be multiplied with the value of the vote of the elected member of house of parliament, and whatever the result will come will be the value of the statement of the value that will participate in the election of president. The election of the president shall be held in according to yes. Subclause 3 is talking about the statement it is talking about the system. So it was the manner of the calculation of the value of the votes of the member of electoral college. Here the meaning of the population means the population of a state for the purpose of above calculation means the population as ascertained at the last preceding census of which relevant figure have been published. Meaning thereby which number of the population shall be taken. It means the last whatever the number which was fixed in the last preceding census. And regarding the statement showing the number of the votes of each state, and here it says for the purpose of every presidential election, the Election Commission of India shall furnish a statement which will show the value of the vote of each elector, and every ballot paper put in by an elector at that election shall be deemed to represent as many votes as that elector is having in that statement. And regarding the system of the election, as sub article 55 subclause 3 is saying that the president election is held in according to the provision of article 55 subclause 3, it is the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. That is to say, every member of the electoral college for the presidential election cast one vote, but in such vote he has the option to mark his preference for each of the candidate in the electoral arena. As regarding the qualification for election as president, Article 51 of the Indian Constitution has laid down the qualification to be eligible for election as president. Means he must be citizen of India, he must have completed the age of 35 years, and he must be qualified for election as a member of House of People. Yes, a candidate for the presidential election must be registered as an elector in the electoral roll for any parliamentary constituencies in India. And yes, it is mentioned that although it is a essential qualification for the candidate for election to the House of People, that he has to make and subscribe the oath in the form which is prescribed in the third schedule to the Constitution, but no oath is prescribed under the Constitution for candidate for election as president. So in the case of Babu Rao Patel versus Dr. Zakir Hussain, I am showing the picture of Zakir Hussain, President Zakir Hussain. Because in this case, the election of Dr. Zakir Hussain was questioned at the fourth presidential election in 1967. It was questioned before the Supreme Court on the ground that he had not taken any oath at the time of filing his nomination for the election. It was also contended that the Election Commission could have prescribed a form for the oath. The Supreme Court rejected this contention and held that the candidate for election as president was not required to take any oath for becoming eligible for such election under Article 58 of the Constitution. But in the case of Charan Lal Sahu versus Gyani Jail Singh in 1984, Supreme Court further clarified that although one of the qualification for election as president prescribed under Article 58 is that candidate must be qualified for election as a member of House of the People, and Article 84 subclause A prescribe on oath set out in third schedule as an essential qualification for being chosen to fill a seat in parliament. But third schedule does not prescribe any form of oath or affirmation for a person who desires to contest a presidential election. In the very nature of the thing, a candidate who wants to contest the election for the office of the president cannot take oath in any of the format or the forms prescribed by the third schedule. Therefore, failure to take oath cannot render the presidential election unconstitutional. And I am showing the picture of the President Zakir Hussain ji and Gyani Jail Singh. Yes, ineligibility for the election as president, and this question was raised in the Parno Azitok Sangama versus Parnab Mukherjee. Here, very categorically mentioned that a person shall not be eligible for candidate as president if he holds any office of profit under the government of India or the government of any state or under any local or other authority subject to the control of any of the government under Article 58 subclause 2. But a person shall not be deemed to hold any office of profit by reason only that he is the President of India, or Vice President of India, or the Governor of any state, or a minister either for Union or for any state, as mentioned in the explanation to Article 58, Subclause 2. Already mentioned that a sitting president is eligible for re-election without any limit for the such a re-election. The election of Sri Pranab Mukherjee as president in 2012 was challenged on the ground that he was holding the office of chairman of Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, which was alleged to be an office of the profit under the government of India. The Supreme Court, with majority, held that the said office of the chairman, Indian Statistical Institute, was no more a disqualification under Article 58 for election as president, as Parliament had excluded that office from the ambit of disqualification under Article 102 for membership of Parliament by amendment to the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act in 1959 in 2006. Yes, regarding the condition of the president's office, uh, after the election, the president shall not be a member of either House of Parliament or a House of Legislature of any state. If any sitting member of Parliament or a state legislature is elected as president, he shall be deemed to have automatically vacated his seat in Parliament or in the state legislature on the date, as the case may be, on the date on which he enters upon his office as president as per Article 51, Subclause 1. Yes, regarding the time limit for holding presidential election. Yes, election to fill normal vacancy. Already discussed that under Article 62, Subclause 1, an election to fill a normal vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of the office of outgoing president shall be completed before the expiration of his term. And in 1974, a question arose, already it is discussed at the 6th presidential election, whether the presidential election could be postponed so that the electoral college was completed with the constitution of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly, which stood dissolved at the relevant time. The matter was referred by the President to Supreme Court for its opinion. As already discussed previously, it was held by the Supreme Court that the presidential election must be completed before the expiration of the term of the incumbent president, so that his successor enters upon his office on the day the predecessor vacate office on the expiration of his term. But such election must be held within regarding the election to fill a vacancy which is occurred by reason of the death or resignation, etc. Under Article 62, Subclause 2, it was held that the election must be held within the 6th month of the date of the occurrence of the vacancy. So this is all about the manner to conduct the election and the time limit, where I have discussed that the election of the president will not be postponed. It has to be conducted within the time before the expiration of the term of the previous president. And second, there shall be uniformity in the value of the vote of elector of elected member of state legislative assembly and the elected member of the both house of the parliament. And to make the uniformity in the value of the vote of the electors, there is a formula mentioned in Article 55. Accordingly, it is done. So, the next topic for the discussion is the election of president part 3, where I will discuss the conduct of presidential election, means how the election shall be conducted. Thank you very much for watching me. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, students.